Let's go. Hello, 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 and welcome. My name is Sabrina Victoria. I am here with Jennifer today, and we are talking about no drama marketing, how to grow and thrive. So, if you are an online business owner or an entrepreneur, make sure you get comfortable and set your phone up, set your computer up to listen in to the goodness we're going to be sharing today. We're going to be exploring the triumphs, the challenges faced by women worldwide. We're going to be offering insights, we're going to be offering inspiration to fuel your personal and your professional growth. So let's jump in.
Get ready, because today's guest is about to change the way you view your world. This is Her Talk Show, hosted by Sabrina Victoria.
Hello, if you're listening live, welcome. And if you're listening on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay wherever you're at so we can send you some love in the comments. We are here every day delving deep into the realms of health, wealth, and leadership with some of the most brilliant women globally. We have interviewed well over 600 women, and today we are adding another one to the list. We have Jennifer. She is the founder of Lead Funnel Scale. She's a marketing strategist who helps businesses grow without getting caught in the endless trends and gimmicks. She believes in simple, effective strategies that save time and reduce stress. When she's not working with clients, Jennifer's busy gardening. I love that. Homesteading and homeschooling her 4 kids. From her home base in rural South Dakota, she's building a thriving business while living a life she loves. Girl, I love this. So fun. We were just talking about a new puppy that she just got. So super exciting on all fronts.
Yes, lots of excitement this summer on the farm. It's been a bit of a busy summer. My son is the avid farmer. I'm the gardener, and he got a little carried away with meat chickens and other animals. So it's been crazy, but it's been great. It's been a good experience. And it's one of those things that there was a long time of wishing we had a chance to do this. And now it's like, remembering that we're so blessed to get to do it.
Wow, that is cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Wow. So, you are the marketing guru. I love your intro here and how you're talking about a marketing strategist who helps businesses grow without getting caught up in the endless trends and gimmicks. Because, girl, they're freaking everywhere.
I know.
It's so frustrating. And even me, I get caught up. I'm like, oh, wait, what? Tell me more. So I would love for you to maybe even give us a couple. Like, what are one or two of these trends and gimmicks that you just insist on staying away from, that you're just seeing everywhere?
I think the biggest one, what got me started in realizing that so much of what was going out there was just a disservice to business owners, because they were telling you, oh, I sent this one email and I made $1 million, or I did 5 TikToks. And it's not about any of that, really. It's all about creating a client journey and nurturing people along the way, and really building a great experience. And so I think the biggest gimmick out there is that there's any one platform that's going to build your business. I've been told for so long, you can't build a business without Instagram. And I can tell you, I finally started Instagram like 1.5 years ago. I did a bit, I gave it some attention for like 6 months. It did nothing for me. My business still doubled. Like, I don't need Instagram. I have things that drop there just for branding. But I think that's the biggest gimmick, is that it's what you do on the platforms that makes you money. And really it isn't. It's all part of that client journey. And it's about building a community and speaking to people, like the people who are waiting to listen to you, in a way that they can connect, and pushing them just so far out of their frustration that they can take this next step that's going to change their life. Because that's what all of us need to do on Facebook and Instagram and all of them. It's like starting a conversation. It's not about the dancing, the trending songs, the, what the latest trend is, or the hacks, or beating the algorithm. Like, none of that really matters. And I think that there's so many gimmicks at this point, I can't keep up with them. I sometimes fall for it too. Like, sometimes I'll be reading, I'm like, Jennifer, you know better. Like, why are you even reading this sales page for this? But that it's you need to know how the platforms work and use the platform the way it wants to be used. If you're on YouTube, you need to make videos, right? But there is still this getting caught up in all the drama of, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, and I need to go viral. And it's not about going viral. Like, honestly, unless you're looking to be an influencer, viral does nothing for you. What you're looking to do is, like I said, start that conversation, get people into your email list and your world, and then nurture them.
I love that you're talking about this viral thing. Probably around 8 months ago, I had like a wake up call, because we get caught in the viral thing. And I was on TikTok, and I was scrolling, and a woman popped up, and she wasn't saying anything. She was just like sitting on her bed or something. And she had words kind of going across, and it basically said, I went viral last Tuesday on TikTok. Nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like you think that like your whole life is going to change, and all of a sudden you're driving a Bentley, and she's literally like, nothing changed.
No, and I don't know anyone who it did. I think that there is that, there's that moment where things take off, but it's been building and building and building. And it's one video that people really resonate with. And that kind of is the tipping point. But even still, it's not that one video. It's still what you did before and what you continue to do after. And I don't know anybody who suddenly had a viral video and it's like, oh, wow, I have 1 million clients. Like, people are banging down my doors.
Exactly.
Happen. So,
exactly. And I really like what you're saying here as far as building a community, because I think that that's so important. Even if you did have some crazy thing happen where you did wind up going viral, if you don't have the framework and the structure set for these individuals to like flow into or funnel into, then again, there's nothing tangible to even sell or provide or give if you're not set up on the back end.
Yes. And, we were talking about statistics before the show started. So I'll give you some. Here's the thing. Everybody thinks, oh, I need 1 million followers. And having 1 million followers, is it better than 100 followers? It can be. But no matter how many followers you have, 10% or less of them are seeing anything you put out there. And most of them, I think it's like 80% of people don't even remember what they saw, especially those short little videos that everybody loves to binge on. They're not even remembering what's happening. And so if you don't have a way to keep that conversation going, you're just a little blip on their screen, and they're going to keep scrolling, and they scroll, and it goes in their brain and out their ears, and it never comes back again. And that's not a way to build a business, because you're putting so much energy into this, and they're spending 10 seconds on it, and that it's not coming back. And really, they're, like I said, they're looking for you. And so if you can't bring them in and find a way to keep having that conversation, keep supporting them, be known as the authority in your space, which is not the same as, the influencer. There's influencers that make money from the content they put out. And a leader or a thought leader or an authority can be an influencer, but generally that happens over many, many years. You can, all of us are an influencer in some way, but if we look at like Tony Robbins or Jeff Walker, they've become influencers because they've been there for so long. They've built such a big audience. That's not what's making them money, though. It's not that them being influencers, is that they continue to nurture those people, and all of the people who follow them feel like they know them. They resonate with their audience, and their audience is like, yes, you gave me this and I want more. And that's the biggest part of what we need to do in marketing.
Yeah, definitely. I love the fact that you're using the example of Tony Robbins, because if some
Mhm.
of us are in our business early, we're 2 years, 1 year to 4 years in, and we're wondering where the $10,000 months are,
Mhm.
and, not realizing, like, individuals like Tony Robbins have been, like, scraping by in the
Mhm.
beginning, and then, the momentum or the snowball effect has happened, but it happened over 30 plus years,
Yes.
not over 4 years, you know?
Yes.
Are there individuals that, like you said, that have, like, some sort of, like, crazy thing happen where they're in business in 4 years, then all of a sudden they're making multi-millions? Of course, that happens every once in a while. For the majority of us, we have to work a system. We have to
Mhm.
continue to show up every single day and do the thing and build out community. I'd love
Mhm.
for you to talk a little bit about this, creating a client journey.
Mhm.
'Cause I do think that is something that a lot of us are missing. We don't even know what that means. Like, what do you mean? We're
Mhm.
just kinda all over the place. We're, like, on Insta, we're working on a program, we're doing a YouTube video, we're trying to look into ads. We're like, we don't even realize that there's supposed to be a journey.
Yes, and, it was the realization of that, although I didn't know what it was called at the time, that, I had started as a ghostwriter and a professional writer. I wrote blogs, I ghost wrote for magazines, and I wrote companies and not companies, I wrote launches and webinars and all those types of things. Um, and so people would hire me for this one little thing, like, "Oh, we hear you're really good. Run our Facebook group," or "We hear can you do our email?" or "Can you write this webinar?" And I would write it or I'd write the blog, and I was so disconnected from everything else that they were doing that it was hard for me sometimes to keep the momentum, especially if it was like blogging or emailing. Um, but also, there wasn't a one-to-one ratio. It wasn't like I wrote this blog and then this definitely happened, because it's very hard to just go from one step to the other. And this was back in, like, what was it, like 2010, 2012. And so at that point, the touch points, like how many times you need to connect with someone, was much shorter. It was 5 to 7, maybe 9. Now it's 21 to 30. And
Yeah.
so the thought that like one post or one blog or one video is going to automatically lead to, a sale or something like that is just very difficult to do, if that's the only thing you're doing. And I got kind of frustrated because I was pouring all this into what I was doing, and I wanted to see their business explode, right? Because I was doing the blog and I was following all the rules, right? I was doing what Google wanted, I was doing what Facebook wanted, I was taking all the classes on all the trends and the hacks and the beating and this, the algorithm, and what you had to do and make $1 million. And um none of it was really working, even though I was putting so much into it. And I would get to the ends of the class and think, I didn't really learn something, or I did, but the person who taught it like didn't teach me how to do it. It made sense what they were saying, but then I couldn't replicate it myself unless I bought their next product. Um, and so I started to get a little disillusioned and wonder what happened with marketing. This was when social media was still newer in the marketing arena, and I thought, has everything changed? Like, how do we even market our business now? And so I started interviewing people. I started studying actual case studies and statistics and figuring out like what does work in the 21st century as far as marketing your business. And I found out that marketing hasn't changed. It's just the vehicles have changed. And the biggest thing still is the client journey. So meeting up with someone, speaking to them, that they realize, oh, you're my person. And at that point, you really want to be polarizing. Like, you want people to say, oh, yes, or heck no, and walk away. You don't want everyone in your camp. You want them to be self selecting. And if they walk away, that's fine. There's someone else to serve them. You only want the people that really want to be with you. And then you continue that conversation. A lot of people equate it to like dating. But you continue that conversation, and yes, then you lead them towards a sale. But even after that sale is over, that's when you have to market even more to them, honestly, because now you need to turn them into fans. Because even in 2024, the best marketing is still word of mouth. I mean, that will never end. That's why we are so into the ratings on Amazon, or, when an influencer unboxes a product and says, "Oh, I love this shampoo," and everybody runs out and buys it. Why? Because she said she liked it and you trust her. And trust is a huge thing right now. They always say it's like, know, and trust. I think more than anything, people need to trust you. They don't need to necessarily like you. However, if they trust you, they will follow you, and do and look to you as the authority and take your advice.
I love that. And I love how you're talking about the know, like, and trust. Trust being one of the biggest factors. I was
Mhm,
just talking about that the other day, that we're not putting enough emphasis on, like, even just testimonials being
mhm,
used. We're kind of forgetting that we have customers that have had really great experiences with us, and then using those words or videos to be able to build that trust factor, I think is
mhm.
so important in
Yeah.
business today.
Yes.
Yeah. Not just
Yeah.
that they have to know you.
Yes, because there's so many coaches and marketers out there, right, who are very good at sales. They're very, very good at sales. And I can tell you, I can't prove this, but I think most of these overnight successes where, oh, I reached 5-figure months in, 4 months, or I was making $500,000 in a year or something. Most of them are people who are just very good at sales and not good at delivery. They don't actually have a process that they can deliver. They're not looking to build long-term clients or to really be the best of what they do and really invest in your business and make it better. They're just looking to make the sale, because if they can get 10 people to pay them $1,000 a month every month, then they have their 5-figure months. And it doesn't matter if those people only last 2 or 3 months. Um, that's what happens. They just keep bringing them in and they sell, but they can't actually deliver. And so the trust factor is huge, because those of us who do care and really want to pour into people's businesses and really have taken the time to hone our craft and, really want to deliver the best results, we have to fight against the fact that there's 100 other people who are just looking to make a quick buck and have taken advantage of the people who need them most. And so it's a sad state of affairs, but it's like my mission to educate small businesses to understand how marketing works and what people should be doing for you when you hire them to help you with marketing, whether it's running ads, whether it's coaching you, whether it's building a website. Like, how should that work and what should it do for your business overall? This way you don't end up investing money that goes nowhere.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So when we're building this journey for our clients, you also mentioned the importance of just starting the conversation.
Yes.
And I totally agree with this. I say, people put all this time, all this effort, like what you're talking about, into videos, into posts, into things, and then they forget that they have to, like, talk to the people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I'd love for you to kind of talk a little bit about what does that mean to start a conversation, and then how do we navigate a conversation into a sale?
There are several different ways, and the first way of starting the conversation isn't just sending a cold DM. The first step of starting the conversation is actually showing up, like doing your podcast, doing live videos, putting up posts, like actually being there for your audience, and sharing things that they need to hear and want to hear, but also in a way that it is a conversation, right? It isn't just you slapping up buy my product or slapping up a statistic and saying you're doing everything wrong. It's, this is what's going on. I realize you're struggling with it. Here's what can help. Is there anything else I can help you with? And so it really starts with people following what you're putting out there, whether it's a blog or a vlog or an email. Um, but then it continues with, if people comment, reply to their comments. If you have someone who comments repeatedly or asks a question in the comment, ask them if you can send them a DM. Now the DM is not a pitch slap. Okay. It's not like Sabrina says I can send her a DM. Okay. Let me send her my whole pitch and my payment link, and I'm going to get her to buy. That's not what it is. It's taking that person and now having a one-to-one relationship, asking lots of questions, and then saying, either, hey, I have this resource. Do you want to try it out? That could help you. Or would you like to hop on a 15-minute call and I can talk about some ways that I could help you and see what you really need? It could be inviting them to an event. It doesn't have to be linear. It can be for whoever you talk to, you do what's best for them. But much of it is putting it out there to start the conversation and then asking lots of questions and listening. It's not you talking the whole time. And the biggest thing is finding a way to keep in touch with them that isn't just them commenting on your post or liking your videos on YouTube. It's really getting them onto that email list or getting them into your event and then doing a follow-up. Because the only thing that you own is that contact list. And I've learned this because I've gone through a cyber attack and I've lost, social media platforms. I had like 8,000 subscribers to my newsletter on LinkedIn. And then LinkedIn decided that I had a fraudulent account, which I didn't. I just want to let you know. I followed all the rules. They just decided that that's what was going on. And they shut down my account. And so there were 8,000 subscribers gone. Whereas if they had been on my email list, that was partially my fault that I hadn't worked harder to move them over. I was in the process of doing it, but I should have been more aggressive about it because I knew better. Then I would have that list. And even if MailChimp went out of business, I could go someplace else with my list and email them and say, hey, MailChimp went out of business, but I'm using this over here. Here's my new email. This is what's going on. That is so important because when we build our businesses on social media or any kind of platform, we're building it on someone else's business. And as we know, businesses fold, terms change, things shift. And so we need to own something tangible. I mean, I guess an email list is as tangible as it gets online, even though everything is virtual. We need to have something that we can hold in our hands and own, for our sake, but also for our audience's sake. Because if we disappear and we were the one voice that was making a difference in their life, and now they don't know how to contact us, then think of, how many thousands of people that can impact. It goes both ways, being responsible of getting people onto an email list, not just so you can sell to them, but just so that you have a way of staying in touch with them and can nurture them.
Yeah, I like how you're mentioning LinkedIn because I think so often when it comes to these accounts getting closed down or hacked or stolen or whatever it is, a lot of times it's aimed at Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But it could happen on any platform. So it doesn't matter what platform you're growing it on. Getting the list, as you're saying, the emails is so, so important because you own that list.
Yes.
Great job. Great job. Love it. So we're talking about social media marketing drama. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about us.
Yes.
And how it's distracting to us from growing our business.
It is so distracting. And I actually have a feed eradicator. Like when I go onto Facebook or YouTube, I need to get it for X now because that's becoming a problem. But when I go on there, I don't see anything. I'll see like notifications or messages, but I don't see a feed. I need to intentionally go to a group or a page or something to use it because it was, even when you think, oh, I'm just going to spend 5 minutes because I'm going to engage with people and that's going to help my business. Well, suddenly you see a funny cat video or you see that someone got hurt or you get down another rabbit trail and it's 3 hours later, you've accomplished nothing, right? But there's this pressure that we put on ourselves that I have to be on social media. I have to be active. I have to be active. I have to be on there. I need to make a post. And so much of our brain gets occupied by which platforms am I on? Am I doing the right thing? Did I put up enough posts? Did I engage with enough people? How should I do this? And I see it with my clients because when I talk to them, I would say 95% of the time, the first thing is I should be on social media more. And I know that, yes, I can tell you, yes, there are some of them, and I'll agree with them. Like, yes, you haven't posted in 3 weeks. Like, you need to get back on the wagon. But at the same time, it's such a distraction, and we wear out as business owners because it never ends. It's not like putting up a billboard and you design it and you pay somebody to put it up and it's there for 6 months. It's like non-stop. You have to just keep feeding the beast, and you finish it and then you got to do more. And so we get distracted with the drama of, I'm not doing enough on there. That's why my business isn't growing. Or if I want my business to grow, I need to do more. Well, I don't know what to do. Well, let me spend some time thinking about it. Well, I don't really like this. Well, this video wasn't right. Well, what will people think? Well, and we just spin and we spin. And you know what happens when you spin enough? You get into a hole because you've worn down the ground. And I've realized that social media is important. I am not saying at all that you shouldn't be using it. It is a great thing for businesses because it's the first time that businesses can truly advertise for free all over the world. And you have to invest the time and money into, creating graphics or making the videos or whatever. But it's not the same as doing like newspaper advertising or radio advertising or, knocking on doors and doing door-to-door sales. It opens so many opportunities. However, we can't let it take over. And I think that in so many ways it's taken over and it's become taking on this life of its own that it's constantly beating us up, right? And it lives in our brain and it's just like, do social media, do social media, do social media. And what happens is that we're so focused on doing the social media that we're not doing anything on there that's productive. So we're not thinking about, okay, I want to make a video about X because I want to tell people about Y, because my people have been asking me about Z. And so this is the way for me to, close that loop and start the conversation. And I know I have an event coming up in 2 months. And so this is how I'm going to move them down. Like, that's the client journey. Every post, every video, every comment, everything has to have a purpose. It's not enough to be in a group or have a group. You need to be intentionally using it. And many times less is more. So having a strategy of, this is what I'm going to create, this is when it's going to go out, and this is when I'm going to engage, instead of just having the constant, it's almost like a sandbag on our back of social media, social media, social media. And it wakes you up in the middle of the night of like, oh, I don't have enough Instagram followers. Maybe I should pay someone to get me more Instagram followers. Maybe I should do ads. I can tell you, ads are not the answer. Ads can work. Businesses need ads. Ads are not bad. However, if you don't have people coming from Facebook onto your email list or coming from Facebook into your shop and buying something, like that there is a routine there, or signing up on your calendar and doing a sales call, you don't need ads because you have a client journey problem. You have a funnel problem. And until you fix that, the ads they're just going to cost you money. So I think that that's the drama. And when we get sucked into social media, it's easy to see what people are putting out. Like, we're doing this podcast and I'm sure there's people sitting there going, oh gosh, they have everything together and I don't have anything together. My business isn't right. And because I do that, I totally do that. And then I have to step back and I'm like, Jennifer, this is what you talk to your clients about. Like, stop it. But it's so easy to sit there and think that the other person has it all done and they know what they're doing and they're making tons of money and they've never had to struggle, when that's not true. Like, every business has ups and downs. Nobody gets out of the gate making tons of money. Even the people that, are these quote unquote overnight sensations, how long did it take for that to happen? And I always tell, clients and friends, you don't want to be a one-hit wonder, right? Like, I was a Wham fan back in the day, right? I still like Wham. We still listen to their Christmas song every Christmas. But really, like, Wham came and they left. I think they made 3 singles or something. I don't know. I only know about 3 of their songs. And I followed them since I was like 4th grade. So it's been a long time. But they came, they had this thing, everybody was like, ah, and then they couldn't maintain the momentum, right? And they broke up, and then that was the end of it. So yes, I still listen to their Christmas song, but they recorded that, like, I don't know, 40 years ago. So we don't want that, right? We want to keep going. We want to be the business that just keep, like the Energizer Bunny. I mean, that's a perfect example. Energizer batteries, they're always there. right? We don't think about them much, but we keep buying them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and they weren't an overnight success either. It took some time.
Great example. Great examples. So on the screen right now, I have a link that you shared with me to share with our audience today. Leadfunnelscale.com/end social media drama. I'll make sure it's in the description below.
Yes.
I'll get it in there. Tell us what this is about.
So it started as a challenge that I put together for my clients because I got tired of meeting with them and saying, social media. And I'm like, no, it's taking too much of your brain. I'm like, I need to do something to help these ladies because that is my big thing, is getting them unstuck. And I realized that social media was being a problem. So it started with a challenge that I did with my mastermind. And I thought, you know what? This needs to be something that more people have, because once we can get unstuck from that, I firmly believe if you move people a little bit that they can get unstuck, then they can make empowering decisions. But if they stay stuck, they can't take that next step and empower themselves and make a change in their life. So I turned it into, I guess you would call it a mini masterclass. It's like a mini course that I have the resources, I have downloads, I have videos. I walk you through exactly what to do to get hold of your social media in a way that's still going to support your business. It's still going to be branding. It's still going to set you up as an authority, but it's going to stop occupying so much of your thought and your brain power, so that you can actually focus that on things that are going to move your business forward.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Emma Team Her, part of our team, says Jennifer's approach to marketing is such a breath of fresh air. It's inspiring to see how she's helping businesses grow with simplicity and efficiency. Yes. Love how she balances all while homeschooling and homesteading too. Thank you so much, Emma, for hanging out with us today.
Thank you. That was
Very
great.
cool. So we're obviously getting a really good idea of, who you are, what you do. I would love for you, we have a ton of people watching live right now. I would love for you to talk about who should be reaching out to you. Who specifically do you help?
I help entrepreneurs and small businesses that have a product or an offer that they've sold. So they have made sales, they have some followers, like they have a legitimate business, but they're duct taping everything together. They're spinning in circles when they want to move forward, and they don't know if, like, is ads the right answer. Do I just do ClickFunnels? Do I do this? They're chasing shiny objects, and they want to just finally, like, break free of that spinning in circles and move forward. So the biggest thing that I help them do is streamline their technology. So technology is no longer a stressor or a hindrance. Help them get a clear plan on what they're doing with their marketing so that they can move forward instead of sitting there saying, what should I do next? I don't know. What's she doing? What's he doing? Maybe I should do this. Maybe I need to be on TikTok. And really just get a clear vision of what they need to do. So I don't work with a particular niche. I work with people who are tired of being stuck and tired of wasting their time on tech, social media, and marketing decisions, and want to just make an investment in their business to move forward. And overall, I save them time, I save them money, and I give them time back, that they can spend with their family and their friends. Because honestly, that's why we built our businesses. That's our goal, right? Is to get to live our life and not spend all our time on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, 100. And then as far as individuals that are looking to find out more information, maybe follow you on social, where would you direct individuals to?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, X. I am also on YouTube. I have videos about marketing and ending the drama and what you should be doing, building client experience. You can find me any of those places. You can also check out my program, Lead Funnel Scale, at leadfunnelscale.com.
Beautiful. Well, I love it. I loved everything here. I took a ton of notes myself. I so appreciate you being here, hanging out with us, and just the reassurance. I think that's what a lot of this is just the reassurance that we don't have to be doing all the things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
and that we need to create the client journey. That's what we really need to be aiming in on, is what is that client journey from not knowing you at all to finding out who you are, and then going through some sort of a funnel to be able to get to your freebie, your product, your service, or whatever that is. So this is great.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is that they get a transformation, that their life is better at the end of it, not just that they bought something. That's the biggest thing with the client transformation. What are you going to overall do for them in the end?
Thank you for that. Definitely. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up. This was absolutely fabulous. Any closing thoughts? That was kind of a closing thought, but any other closing thoughts as we wrap up here?
I guess my closing thought would be, you can't do it all. There's only 24 hours in a day. Pick what is going to make a biggest difference in your life and that of your clients, and don't base what you do on people who have massive teams that are running everything for them, because Neil Patel and Tony Robbins have hundreds of people working for them. So they are awesome. I love Neil Patel. I highly recommend him. But he obviously has a lot of people doing things for him. So he is not doing this all by himself.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
All right, Jennifer. Well, this has been absolutely phenomenal. So appreciate you being here, sharing your wisdom, inspiring us all. To those of you that made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us. Remember to follow, like, and share. Once again, I am your host. My name is Sabrina Victoria, and I invite you to join our community, Her Nation, where we continue to have conversations just like this one to really guide you and uplift you within your health, wealth, and your leadership skills as a woman. Until